Hello candidates, once again I welcome you to my class of English. I'm sure you're very attentive once again because when you're attentive, we are able to understand each other. We are still under the topic letter writing, under the subtopic informal letters, which we say can be called personal letters, they can be called friendly letters, they can still be called unofficial letters. So today we are going to still we are looking at comprehension. We are still looking at comprehension just like the previous lesson that we had. And under this lesson, we are going to look at the parts of a friendly letter. We are going to basically look at the parts of a friendly letter in detail. Parts of a friendly letter. The children previously, when I introduced letter writing, I told you in letter writing, we are able to express our feelings, we are able to express our experiences and ideas through letters. So a letter that you're going to write and communicate well to the person that you're writing to, it needs to be very well organized, as we are going to see. For example, a letter that is well organized should have an address. It should have an address. And we say that an address refers to the details of a place where someone stays or works, where his letters or parcels can be delivered. So when I'm writing a letter, the person who is writing should give his address, and on the envelope where I've inserted my letter, I should also put the address of the person I'm writing the letter to. So we have two addresses, one inside the letter, one on the envelope, showing the details of the person where his letters are going to be delivered. Then we say another important part of a friendly letter is the date. The date on which you've written the letter is extremely important. Sometimes you may send a letter to someone and the information in the letter could be out of date. You send the letter, for example, you write it today on Wednesday, 20th May. You find the person receiving the letter possibly after March. Sometimes there are delays. So you find that the information in the letter may be out of date. So the date is also very important, such that the person who may be replying the letter may know whether the information is going to write back is still relevant. Another part of the letter is the salutation. Another part of the letter is the salutation. The salutation is basically a greeting. And then another part, we talked about the introduction. The first part of the letter is the introduction. Then we also have what we call the body. The body that, in the body, it's where you express all your ideas, all the information you want to put forward. All the information you want to communicate is put in the body, and the body should be well organized, as we are going to see. Then we also have what we call the conclusion. We also have what we call the conclusion. That is the end part. The part that is ending the letter, and it has to contain friendly words. We have the examples like the word loving, which is said as another meaning as affectionate. You can use the word affectionate as words that you can use in the conclusion, and your signature. And your signature at this level is your name. Your signature is your name in small letters. So here, I've tried to express a certain letter here. It's going to be useful here as I take you through the parts. So you find that we have an address in the letter, which I've clearly written like this. I've put it there. My letter has an address. I've put the date, which is clearly written like that. I've put the salutation. This is our salutation. You use the word dear. It is more appropriate. Then you put the name of the person writing. If it's a friend, you can put the friend. But now we are writing to mother. Then the introduction. You can introduce like that with some form of greeting. This is a special form of saluting a person. Then you can get this part, which I'm calling the introduction. You can still express your feelings about this person, like we have said, I really miss you a lot, you have even greeted here, and still, I can just briefly talk about the reason why I'm writing, just briefly in the introduction. Then I elaborate the reason in the body. When you look at the body, we say that the body expresses the message that you want to put forward. And sometimes you may have different ideas that you want to put in your letter. So every idea that you're going to put in the letter, let it appear in a different paragraph. So here you see that I have different paragraphs in my body. I have this one. There is a message it's conveying. Then there is this other paragraph. It has a message it's conveying. Even here it's conveying a message about the writer's performance. Even there is a message here being conveyed. So if you have different forms of messages that you want to write to someone, please put them in different paragraphs such that they are very clear. So children, before we go into real writing letters, there is some message that I want, there's some guidelines that we need to follow, but those guidelines, I think we shall use them when we are into the real writing. Let us spare them for the composition lesson when we are composing our own letters. Let us use this sample for answering some questions. So children, there are points when they set for you such a letter and they require you to answer some questions about this letter. So my advice to you candidates, we have already known the different parts of the letter. My advice to you candidates is read this letter, read it exhaustively such that you understand it. Exhaust the different meanings, even of the words, the message which this person is trying to convey, and then answer the questions that follow this letter. I can read for you this letter. As you read with me there, after I read, you'll also read by yourself. Trinity Primary School, PO Box 391, Kampala. My address, Wednesday, 20th May 2020. Dear mother, I hope you are well. I really miss you a lot. Yesterday was our visitation, and I was eagerly waiting for you. I'm still wondering why you missed my visitation day. I cannot believe it. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I stood at the gate waiting for you, thinking that you had been caught up by traffic jam. It turned out to be a dreaming. I painfully left the gate when the bell for closure of the station was rung. I felt so lonely and tears started rolling down my miserable face. Could you have got the gate slowly? I miss to share with you. This is another part of information that you're giving. I miss to share with you the joy of my excellent performance. I got aggregate 5 in the midterm exams. I'm ending my letter, I'm ending my body with this paragraph to express how I feel about mommy. I love you, mommy, and I can't wait to see you during the holidays. Send my greetings to daddy and all my siblings. Your loving daughter children. When I'm making the conclusion for examination purpose, I can make my conclusion with the relationship I have with the person I am writing to. With the relationship, I have used the relationship, I am a daughter to the woman, to the person I am writing to. Then I put my name in small letters, as you see here. Desire Nasona wrote this letter to her mother, and that's why you see Nasona Desire put her name here in small letters. So children, if a letter comes in an examination, that's very simple. There are specific questions that have to be asked no matter what. In a letter, there are specific questions that have to be said along the what? The letter after the letter. For example, this question is usually asked, who wrote the letter? That one you never miss. Who wrote the letter? The person who has signed here, the person who has put his name here is the person who wrote. Some candidates confuse themselves and write, the mother wrote the letter. No, the one who signed off, the one who put here her name signed off is the one who wrote the letter. So who wrote the letter? That question you never miss. Desire Nasona wrote the letter. Another question that is usually asked, when was the letter written? Now they're asking about the date. When was the letter written? You get? Again, it is very simple. They've asked, when was the letter written? They have not asked, when did she write the letter? When was the letter written? When was it? Is in passive voice. When was the letter written? Again, I have to answer in passive voice and say, the letter was written on Wednesday, 20th. You copy it as you see it here. On Wednesday, 20th May 2020. And children, we always tell you sentences end with a full stop. If you write your answer without a full stop, you will fail it. Another question that is usually asked, in which school is the writer? In which school is the writer? The writer is in Trinity. This is her address. The writer is in Trinity Primary School. At times they ask, to which school does the writer go? The writer goes to Trinity Primary School, according to the address here that has been given. So those are the commonest questions about the letter. Very simple, and the other the other questions come from the body. If you have read the letter very well, you can't fail to copy to answer the questions from the body clearly. So children, that is all about the letter. There are some questions that I'm going to give you that you have to answer below, about that letter. I expect you to get all of them correct, and afterwards just do a snapshot of your work and send it to me such that I'll be able to make a chat with you to do corrections with you. Thank you for being attentive. Stay home, stay safe.